Hello and welcome back to my garage here in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. As you can see, I have a couple of cars here. The black carbon fiber DeLorean I've moved over there. It still needs work, it's not done. And this Barracuda, this is a Plymouth Barracuda. This one I got in from the junkyard a few trips ago and threw it into my parking. And I went ahead and pulled it out and finished it up so I could sell it, get it out of here. So it's all done. It had a factory power 425, and so fully upgraded 742, and it's going to sell for about 120,000 or so, 118, yeah. Anyway, I already did a Barracuda for this series. I didn't want to do another one. So, since I'm not going to work on the DeLorean right now, let's go to the junkyard and see if we can find something else, because there's still several other cars I've been eagerly looking for. Okay, and here we are. I see a Bolt Reptilia there. Bolt Reptilia S. So that's one of the standard ones. What's that? That's another Porsche Carrera GT. And what is this? FMW Roadster. So this is a BMW analog. Like, what is it? Like the BMW Z3 or Z3, I think? Porsche Carrera GT. I'm gonna buy this, throw it in my garage, in my parking rather. Maybe if I find two of those, I will do a double. Since like one of the very first episodes I did was one of those. What is this? This is a Piccolo? No, Emden Lots. A lot of cars here this time. Nothing super exciting though. Is this a Jeep? Or is this the Caster Avalanche? Right. Looks like a Celica over there. And this is a Salem Spectre Fastback. And that looks like another... Oh no, that's the Tempest Magnum. And this is a Celica stock. So this is a stock Celica. That might be interesting. Most of the Celicas that I find are like the V8 conversions. I really want to do like a Ford GT40 though. I was really hoping to find one of those. I don't think I've done one of these yet, but this is one of the generic. I mean, this is one of the endgame cars. I wouldn't mind. Well, I wouldn't mind maybe doing one of those at some point. There's so many other cars we still haven't found yet, like the Dodge Viper and like the SRT pickup truck. I think what I'm going to do is buy this. It's not going to be super valuable, but it's different. $26.76 for this car. And I'm going to go back to the garage, and then I'm going to reset the junkyard and come back. And if we don't find anything cool the second time, we'll just do the Celica. Okay, I have reset the junkyard. Here we are again. Got here a Delta 88. This is the one that we did already that has the chainsaw and the shotgun in the trunk. What's that over there? Looks like another Tempest Magnum. Or no, this is the Bolt Atlanta. I meant to look and see. I meant to look in the workshop and see if there was an El Camino mod that looked like it was okay. I forgot to check. There's another DeLorean. Yay. And this, I think, is the Camaro. That's kind of tempting. Another standard DeLorean. What are you? An MR2. Man, this is really... even less in this junkyard than there was in the other one. I haven't done the Camaro, but the Camaro is really just a it's really just a reskin of that Chevy, not Chevy, the Chieftain Bandit Shiv that I did before. You know what? I'm just going to do the Celica. Let's go back. Okay, here we are. So let's get to work on this thing. Oh boy, look at that. That's how it does the interior, the whole front end, and the engine cover make it look like the Toyota engine. It's one of those mods that's so heavily worked on that it's barely a skeleton once you take all the cosmetic parts off. Actually has ABS in it. I don't really think a Celica of this vintage would have ABS. I'd have to look at that and see. I'm going to hold on to these parts for a moment until I make sure I buy the right ones, because I know there's a whole bunch of different Celica parts in the import store. The underneath looks pretty good. It looks like it's all hooked up compared to some of the cars I've worked on. The exhaust and drivetrain are all connected properly. It's got an i4 engine in it though, so it's not going to be powerful by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, so let's see if we can get the ones that are just for the stock. Engine cover, front bumper. See, look at that. There's like, what is that, 7 different front bumpers? Front end, front door, window, fender. Left body window, left headlight. I don't think I pulled one of those off the car. Rear bumper, left fender. Those fenders have like the Toyota Celica badge that will be on the side of the car. Okay, I think that's everything. Yeah, see, the front end basically just slots in all the detail. See, I knew there was something I forgot to take off. Has the Celica badge and the little weather stripping down there across the bottom. Why can't I get that to go on? I guess the mirror needs to go on before the door will go on, or no? Huh. That must be a glitch. I think the mirror is there. Just for... what the hell? I guess I didn't get that right fender. Celica right rear fender would be this. There's that tail light that is doing the muffler. Global body condition 96. It's got to be the seats and the wheel. Yeah, the seats and the wheel. See, look, the left side mirror and right side mirror are on, but it shows it's acting here like they're not, which is weird. What were those seats again? Seat 9, leather D. Oh, I didn't put the engine cover on. See, now it looks like it has a Toyota engine compartment in it. Oh, I see. I was like, why is that? The rear bench is part of the rear window. And look, when I open the door, the mirror looks like you would expect it to look. And now the other mirror also looks proper. Okay, that was just trying to screw with me. Okay, body condition 100%. Perfect. Let's get this thing cleaned up. Wow, is that the factory color? Yeah, it is. And the value is already gone. I recall this one. I actually paid attention. The car value when I bought it was $2,676. And we're up, what, $4,000 and change? $3,000 and change. I'm not going to leave it this color, though. I mean, the green isn't bad, but I actually kind of have a personal connection to this car, and I'm going to try to replicate that. Oh, so I don't have all those pieces. Metal muffler, front exhaust section, I4. Oops, I should have. That is going to be much too much of a selection. Yeah. And though, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to put that on until the engine is done, because I have to put it in once the engine is in. And I didn't buy a fuel pump. Arr. Okay, let's paint it now. And I want to see if I can achieve kind of a nice deep... See, my brother had one of these back in the day, and his car was a nice deep brown, kind of like the one, if you look at the... No. If you look at the image right here in the corner where it has the mod, that brown color is almost exactly... My brother's car was darker than this, but I want to see if I can achieve that color. No, I need the saturation to be up higher. That looks about right. His car had stripes. I wonder if there's livery for this. And there is not. I'm not super happy with this, but I guess it'll do. Yeah, it looks more like a Hershey bar out here than it did in the paint booth. So let's get to work taking this thing apart. And it has the coil spring rear end. It has the coil spring rear end, which should be relatively easy to get back together quickly. Yay. Nice view from inside the tire there. And actually, I actually have an extra rear spring shock cover, because of the last car I worked on. I meant to buy 4 of them, and I bought 5 by accident. So I have one floating around in my inventory, which means I don't have to. Means I need to be careful to not buy an extra one. Let's see what we can get rid of now. There's only 2 bushings in that rear end. And I'll get rid of all the brakes. Buy our clutch pieces. And the suspension is going to be 2 rear shock Bs. See, I have an extra shock absorber cap here. Buy the springs and the shocks. I'll probably go ahead and just buy new U-bolts too. No. Spring. There's no K in that word. So that can go, and that can go, and that can go, and that can go. And then this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. I'll make a stab at repairing the rest of this stuff. Probably won't get it all, but it's worth a shot. Let's see, I want to buy a new transmission. This is way overkill for this car, but I'm doing it anyway. Let's see about making repairs here. Failed to repair like 3 things there, I saw. Well, we repaired this, so we'll get a little bit more money out of it. The hubs, the drive shaft, and the solid control arms. I think there might have been something else too. No, there wasn't. Just those pieces. Okay, let's think about getting different wheels too. And let's see what would be good. We could go with those and paint them. But no, I don't think that would look very good. Unless I painted them black. No, I don't like that idea. I think I'm going to go with my old standby here. I'm pretty sure these are all the same size, but don't want to screw up and buy the wrong ones. They were 13-inch wheels though, right? Yeah. 165/70/13. $165/70/13. Perfect. Got the correct size and everything. Okay, let's reassemble the back end now. Oh, I didn't buy the bushings. I sold the old ones, but I didn't buy new ones. All scatterbrained today. Probably because I worked on a, probably because I worked on that other car already. And I had to buy a lot of bushings for it too. Where am I at now? Shock absorber? Yeah. Did I put the other one on? I did. Okay. It's just a better looking wheel. I like that rim a lot more. Yeah, by comparison, I think these rims look a lot better than the Rim Atlanta, which is what's on there now. So I'll go with those. Looks like it's shock absorber A, so there will be a little bit fewer bushings to get for this side. lost track of my pointer there for a second. That's something that's like on my wish list. If anybody knows how to mod this game, I know it's possible. I would love to have a more visible pointer than this tiny little white dot, which occasionally gets lost in the clutter.
There's practically nothing in this engine, is there? Are there even pistons in it? There aren't. So I don't even really need to use the engine crane. It's literally just an engine block and a crankshaft and nothing else. Okay, let's get our bushings and remember to buy them this time. Get the tie rods and the sway bars too while I'm at it. How many? What was it? Front sway bar and sway bar A? Yes. And that is going to be... I didn't buy the... Let's see. I sold all the old brakes. Need to buy new brakes before I get sidetracked. And now I need shock A, which is this one. 2 caps and 2 springs. What else? Hubs. Get rid of hubs. That should be all of those. Yep. Go away. So we're down to the suspension arms. Okay, we'll try to repair that stuff. Let's get our wheels. And what was it again? 165, 70, 13? Putting on sport tires instead of standard tires. I'm not convinced that the different tires really do much in the way of traction. I just figure since we're going to be upgrading the car as much as possible, we might as well give it something better than just standard tires. The only ones that I think really make a difference are the slicks, the racing slicks. And on cars like the Pagani Zonda, you've got to have those or the car is absolutely uncontrollable. Okay, 165, 70, 13. Yep. I always like to check and recheck that I have the correct parts. We didn't get to repair everything. Lower suspension arm and the steering rack.
I think a front axle knuckle. Yeah, knuckle A, front axle knuckle cover. Okay, now we can start installing the front end. Okay, I think that's everything. Looks like it. Yep, everything. So now we can start working on the engine. I'm going to do this anyway, even though it's silly. Yeah, I didn't want to have to take out the engine cover. I had a feeling I would have to take it out to be able to reach the engine in there. So let's see if we can repair the block. We can't repair the crankshaft, but we can repair the block, at least. Oh no, we already repaired the crankshaft and the block. Okay, good. Everything is so little. I mean, you're used to working on the great big V8s, and everything is small. Everything is scaled smaller because it's a little engine. You have to buy so much stuff. Let's see here. I4 pump, I4 water pump, and alternator. I know at least I can get spark plugs and pistons. And what is there for I4 stuff? Sure, there's going to be a head and a camshaft. I4 power steering pump.
Probably the distributor and ignition stuff. I'm not actually sure how many crankshaft caps this thing takes. I'm going to buy 2. And there was something else. Oil I4. It's going to be this oil filter, and I think this oil pan? No, it's I4B. I better wait until I know for sure. I hate buying the wrong parts. It always makes me angry. So did I get it? Oh, I didn't get the water pump. I actually don't think it's going to need a pulley. Yeah, it's not going to need a pulley. Though there's going to be something that sticks out, because you can see the alternator's roller is forward of the rollers for the water pump and the power steering pump. And it has 3 crankshaft caps. I should have guessed. I was already in the correct mode. Alright, let's install things now. Yeah, oil pan I4. Good thing I didn't convince myself to buy the I4B oil pan. I'd have been annoyed. This is different. I mean, the last I4 that we worked on was the I4 that was in the Jeep. And that was a different engine from this. Okay, so I4 single overhead cam. And that is that one. And presumably it's going to be this camshaft. I hope. Looks like it has 5 camshaft caps. So I4 cam gear, and where's the head cover? Okay, let's wait until we find out exactly which one it wants. Just saw something on the back of the engine. I have to get that ignition coil. I think there's a red one for that. Oh, so it's just engine head cover, generic. I4 MPI. There it is, right there.
And there's the i4 MPI intake manifold. Probably throttle i4, I think. And exhaust manifold i4 SOHC, it's got to be that one. Ignition wires, ignition coil. I bet it's that distributor cap. Clearly it has a distributor. Oh, there's where the spark plugs go. I was just wondering about that. Fuel rail MPI. Ignition coil. And got the correct wires. Yay! What do I need here? Timing belt SOHC. Rail MPI. I bet I need this serpentine belt also. And there's the fuel rail. Excellent. Ah. Yeah. I should have known that would be there. I haven't done a lot of these i4 engines, not like the V8s that I've done hundreds of. There's going to be a crankshaft pulley there, I knew it. Roller A, crankshaft pulley i4. And that's where that serpentine belt goes. Glad I bought that. Oh, of course it needs this one. Serpentine belt A. I think we're just about done, though. Yeah, that's everything. So the engine is now complete. Hooray! And we managed to get quite a lot in the way of performance parts attached to it. So maybe we'll see some better numbers than I'm expecting. So can I touch the engine from out here? I don't think I can, with the engine cover in place. And I think this is going to be one of those up-down things, because I have to... Yeah, I'm going to have to go up to put the exhaust section on, and then down to put the manifold on. You know what? I didn't buy a starter. That's okay. I'm gonna have to lower the car down to put the starter in anyway. I always forget to buy a starter. I swear I should just buy starters at the beginning of a rebuild. Okay, and that should be 100% across the board. Very good. Car value now is, let's see, 18 plus 3, 21. 21,600, no, 21,700 and change. And we paid 2,600 for the car. Not the kind of payday that I like to get, but still better than being poked in the eye with a stick. Factory engine power 81. Should be able to get over that pretty easily, I think. Not as good as I hoped, but still better than 81. There's also like a Celica Speed Hunter, I think, is one of the other parts of this mod, and it has a V8 engine in it. Maybe I should do one of those one day to see what kind of power it has. So let's take her for a quick little drive, shall we? Okay. Out here in the sunlight, the color is much darker. It's not the kind of brown, it's not the kind of color I really wanted. I was fiddling with the color sliders in this game is really, I don't know how people get colors that they like without using, most of the time I resort to the factory colors. This looks kind of, in some angles it looks kind of like there's a green undertone to it, so it's kind of an olive, sort of like, I don't know, like an avocado. It's been left out in the sun too long. I don't know. Well, let's see what she's got. It's tracking nice and straight, I give it that. Drifting to the right, we are. Let's try and correct back a bit. Can we get over 100 miles an hour at least? Yep. The engine must be screaming in there. 108, 110? No, not quite. Okay, good enough. You couldn't expect a whole lot out of a little four-banger anyway. Okay, we are back. So the car is 100%. We've driven it, seen what little it has to offer, and now we can go ahead and get rid of it. So $21,715. Okay, I think that was less money than I think that was less money than I made on one of those DeLoreans the other day. That's kind of depressing. But then I'm closing in on $60 million, so I suppose it's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and that'll go ahead and wrap this episode up. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. I really appreciate your business. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again for our next Junkyard pickup adventure. So on that note, bye for now.